Welcome back to another chilling episode, my friends. Tonight we plunge into the depths of urban darkness, exploring the hidden rivers that snake beneath our cities. These subterranean waterways, shrouded in shadow and silence, hold secrets best left undisturbed. But some secrets refuse to stay buried. Prepare yourself for 3 terrifying tales that will make you think twice about what's lurking below in the cold, dark depths where the city's refuse collects and festers. In the hidden rivers. Our first tale takes us deep beneath the bustling streets, into the bowels of an aging city. A group of friends, young and restless, decided to tempt fate by venturing into the city's abandoned sewer system. They were seasoned urban explorers, their confidence bolstered by countless previous excursions into forgotten tunnels and derelict buildings. Armed with flashlights, cameras, and a sense of bravado, they descended into the damp, echoing darkness. The air hung thick and heavy, a miasma of mildew and decay clinging to their throats. Rusted pipes lined the walls, dripping with an oily sludge that shimmered faintly in the beam of their lights. The further they ventured, the more oppressive the atmosphere became. They started to hear strange sounds, the skittering of rats in the darkness, the dripping of water that seemed unnaturally loud in the silence. Then, one of the friends, Mark, noticed something strange, a faint light flickering in the distance. They cautiously approached, their hearts pounding in their chests. As they rounded a bend, the source of the light revealed itself. It was a lantern hanging from a rusty hook on the wall. But it was what lay beneath the lantern that sent chills down their spines. A wooden table, its surface covered in strange symbols and markings. And sitting at the table, its back turned towards them, was a figure shrouded in shadow, its head bowed as if in prayer or contemplation. They froze, their blood turning to ice. What was this doing down here in this forgotten corner of the city? Mark, his curiosity outweighing his fear, called out to the figure, "Hello? Is anyone there?" The figure didn't move. Mark called out again, his voice echoing off the damp walls. Still no response. One of the friends, Emily, urged caution. "Let's just go," she whispered, her voice trembling with unease. But Mark was insistent. He took a step closer, his flashlight beam trained on the figure. "Hey," he said, his voice louder this time, "we're not going to hurt you." Still, the figure remained motionless. Mark took another step, and then another. He was just a few feet away now. He raised his flashlight, aiming the beam at the figure's head, and that's when the figure moved. It snapped its head up, its eyes flashing open. But they weren't human eyes. They were eyes filled with an ancient primal hunger. The figure rose from the table, its form shifting and contorting in the flickering lantern light. It let out a guttural growl, a sound that seemed to shake the very foundations of the sewer. The friends, paralyzed with fear, could only watch in horror as the creature lunged. Their screams echoed through the tunnels as they scrambled back, their escape hampered by the narrow passageways. They ran blindly, their flashlights bouncing wildly, the creature's enraged growls echoing behind them. They finally emerged from the depths, gasping for air, their clothes torn and their faces streaked with grime and terror. They never spoke of what they saw that night, but the memory of it, the sheer terror of that encounter, would forever haunt their dreams. Our second tale takes us to a city where the whispers of the missing mingle with the rush of the river below. It's the story of a young woman named Alice, an aspiring photographer drawn to the city's underbelly, to the forgotten beauty of its hidden places. She was particularly captivated by the legend of the underground river, a subterranean waterway that flowed beneath the city's heart. Legend had it that the river held a strange power, that it was a conduit to another realm. Alice, drawn by the allure of the unknown, decided to capture the river's essence through her lens. She spent weeks researching, poring over old maps and blueprints, searching for an entry point. Finally, she found it, an old, forgotten access tunnel hidden beneath a nondescript building in the city's oldest district. Armed with her camera and a single flashlight, she entered the tunnel, the humid air thick with the smell of damp earth and decay. The tunnel was narrow, the ceiling low, forcing her to stoop in places. The air grew colder as she descended, the only sound the echoing drip of water. After what felt like an eternity, she emerged into a vast cavern. The air was heavy with moisture, the sound of rushing water echoing off the cavern walls. And there it was, the underground river, a ribbon of black reflecting the faint light from her flashlight. Alice, awestruck by the raw beauty of the place, began to set up her equipment. She took several photos, her camera clicking rhythmically in the silence. Then, she noticed something strange, a faint humming sound barely audible above the rush of the river. She paused, listening intently. The humming grew louder, accompanied by a faint blue light emanating from the river's depths. Alice, her curiosity piqued, moved closer to the riverbank, drawn by an unseen force. The blue light intensified, illuminating the cavern with an otherworldly glow. And then from the depths of the river, a figure emerged. It was vaguely humanoid in form, but its skin was smooth and translucent, its eyes glowing with an eerie blue light. Alice, rooted to the spot, watched in a mixture of awe and terror as the figure glided towards her. It reached out a hand, its touch sending a chill down her spine. And then as quickly as it appeared, it was gone, vanishing back into the depths of the river. Alice, shaken to her core, gathered her equipment and fled, the echoing silence of the cavern amplifying her fear. She emerged from the tunnel hours later, her clothes damp and her face pale. She never spoke of what she saw that night, but the encounter left an indelible mark on her psyche. She abandoned photography, her dreams shattered by the realization that some mysteries are best left unexplored. And Alice was never seen again. Some say she was driven mad by what she saw, her mind unable to reconcile the impossible. Others believe she was taken, claimed by the river and whatever force lurked beneath its surface. Her disappearance remains a chilling reminder that some secrets are better left buried, hidden in the darkness beneath our feet. Chapter 3. The Haunting of the Waterways. Our final tale, the most unsettling of all, centers on a city haunted not by memories but by a malevolent presence tied to its subterranean waterways. This is the story of the haunting of the waterways. It began subtly with whispers among the city's homeless population, those who sought refuge in the city's underbelly, in the tunnels and sewers that crisscrossed beneath the streets. They spoke of a presence, a coldness that seeped from the walls, a feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. Then the stories became more frequent, more disturbing. People reported seeing fleeting glimpses of a figure, a shadowy silhouette that moved with unnatural speed along the edges of their vision. There were whispers of strange chanting echoing from the depths, of a chilling laughter that seemed to seep up from the sewers themselves. The disappearances started soon after. At first they were easily dismissed, written off as unfortunate accidents or the sad realities of life on the streets. But as the disappearances continued, a pattern emerged. Each victim was last seen near a storm drain, a manhole cover, or one of the city's many fountains. All points of access to the network of tunnels and waterways that lay beneath the city. The police, initially skeptical, were forced to take notice. They launched an investigation, but every lead they pursued seemed to lead to a dead end. The city held its breath, gripped by an undercurrent of fear. Parents kept their children indoors, and even the most hardened urban explorers avoided the city's underbelly. The newspapers had a field day, churning out sensationalized stories with headlines like "The River Demon" and "Terror in the Tunnels." Then, just as suddenly as it began, the terror subsided. The disappearances stopped, the sightings ceased, and the city slowly began to breathe again. Life returned to normal, but the memory of that time, the fear that had gripped the city, lingered like a bad dream. Some believed that the entity, whatever it was, had moved on, drawn to some other unsuspecting city. Others believe that it still lurks in the darkness, waiting for the right moment to claim its next victim. The truth, as always, remains elusive, hidden in the depths of the city, in the cold, dark waters that flow beneath our feet. Thank you for joining us on this dark journey into the heart of urban darkness. The hidden rivers beneath our cities hold more than just water and refuse. They hold secrets, fears, and echoes of the past. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more spine-chilling tales. And until next time, stay safe and beware of the hidden rivers beneath your city, for you never know what lurks beneath the surface.